Ah, sure, they say luck is grand. But in business, it's not the four-leaf clover that fills the pot of gold. It's the work you put in. As the Irish say, you'll never plough a field by turning it over in your mind. So if you're waiting for a luck to change, why not make your own? Head over to terrywilson3.com and let's turn the tide in your favour. May the road rise up to meet you, but only if you're willing to take the first step.
Still waiting for customers to come pouring in?
Why leave it to chance? With TW3, you don't have to wait.
Your phone, inbox, and front door can be buzzing with real leads in no time. Our AI-driven marketing system finds your ideal clients where they already are.
Online, on social, searching for exactly what you offer.
We don't just promise results, we guarantee them. We're so confident we'll generate leads for you for free so you can see it work before you commit.
Claim your free leads now. Call 864-507-9696.
Call 864-507-9696 or visit terrywilson3.com to book your free demo today.
With TW3, the flood of customers starts now.
You're listening to TerryWilson3.com. TerryWilson3.com. Inspiring, informative, and entertaining content for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
Well, top of the morning to ya. It is episode 630, and this is the TerryWilson3.com podcast. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're enjoying your St. Patty's Day weekend. A friend of mine from church married a true blue Irish lady. Her father and mother both moved from Ireland to the United States years ago, and so both of her folks are, first movers, whatever you call it. And he was telling me Irish jokes, and it just cracked me up. This is a great joke. If you haven't heard this one, you've heard me say it probably if you've listened to the show. Gina and I's favorite vacation was when we went to Ireland. We've been lucky enough to go 2 or 3 times, and it has just been an absolutely wonderful time getting to see the entire country, both the north and the south and all that. But this joke just capsulates. So here's the joke. An Irishman walks out of the bar. It could happen. Now, I don't have the Irish brogue to properly deliver that, but the whole idea, you have to have, it could happen. An Irishman walks out of a bar. But what a fun culture, a fun society, a musical culture. I was talking to Wild Bill from Green Hill, who's been on the podcast. Shout out to Bill Perry. And he was asking me about it years ago, and I was like, there's just something magical about that place. I don't want to get too woo-woo, but I've never been to a place where I'd never been before, and it felt like home. Everything just felt right. The air, the topography, the music, the culture, it just felt. So I love Ireland, and everybody that's ever had the opportunity to visit sort of has the same shared experience, I think. But today, in today's podcast, episode 630, I want to contrast the idea of luck versus the power of being proactive and being persistent. Persistency is executing on a plan. While many celebrate the luck of the Irish, and yours truly does as well, history shows that success often comes not from luck, but from resilience, and strategy, and determination. So there's 5 key points that I want to bring out. 1, luck is a mirage. 2, wishing on a 4-leaf clover won't to replace a solid plan. Fortune favors the brave. The true magic is in consistency, not just a gold at the end of a rainbow. And number 5, don't chase rainbows, but create your own wealth and plan. And so just using the Irish motif as a background to give some key points here, because I love the idea, the whole concept of, finding gold at the end of a rainbow and all of this. And it's a warm thought. It's a great thought. It's a wishful thought. It's a positive thought. But at the end of the day, it's like the old Irish saying, turning over a field in your mind won't turn the field over. It's actually getting out there with a plow. And so, thoughts and ideas are important. Mindset, you'll hear me say it all the time. It's where it starts, but it's not where it ends. And it takes both mindset and mechanics. And so there's this natural tension, I think, in all of us, no matter what goal you're going after, whether it be in business, whether it be in health, whether it be in relationships, whether it be that getting that thing outside of your head and getting it to action. Here's the thing. Sometimes people are all action and no thought. And so they're constantly just hitting their, stubbing their toe, because they're not clear-eyed on a path that will take them there. There's not a pre-thought, there's not an idea, but more of just, let's just do. And, sometimes it's not the time to do, it's the time to think, be concise, be cognitive and real intentional, sober-minded on what I want to do, and then go do it. So you can get in either rut. You can stay in your head, or you can never use your head and just be all brawn and no brains. And it both is a recipe for disaster. And you probably, like me, I know I have been guilty of being in one, ditch or the other in process, either just doing and not thinking, or thinking and never doing. So today I want to talk about how, as the old saying goes, I'd rather be lucky than good, but luck is what, as the old saying goes, luck is where preparedness and out there and being active intersect, where I am prepared and I'm actually out there doing, and I get intersected with opportunity. And that's where luck is found. So it's got to be out there in the field doing what we're called to do, doing what we were, set on this earth to do. We're not cosmic accidents. We're not just wandering around aimlessly, trying to figure out. We should be intentional with our lives, intentional with our business. One of the things that makes business so wonderful, so magnificent, so heart nourishing is when what you do is just infused with a overwhelming sense of purpose. It doesn't matter what you do. You could be in law, you can be in medicine, you can be in customer service, you can be in, home services, plumbing, electrical, you could be whatever it is you do. If your business is just about that, then at the end of if it's just about making $1, if it's just about, doing this thing, and it's not about a greater purpose, that I do this because at the end result, this is the problems it solves, this is the value it brings other people, and this is the mark I'm leaving on society. We got to think in sometimes meta terms, greater, a larger, got to widen our scope of vision of why what we do matters. Because if you don't, what happens is, when things happen and things slow down, or there's changes in the economy, or changes in your industry, or, whatever that disruptive thing is, when it happens, you don't have this greater grand idea, this is why I do what I do, then sometimes you can get lost, you can get disillusioned, you can get frustrated, you can get disheartened, and you out there as a business owner, what I'm talking about. There's days that you're king of the hill, and there's days that it feels like the entire hill is on top of you. And what gets you through both, what keeps you level-headed when you're on top of the hill, and what keeps your chin up when you're under the hill, is having that greater why. This is why I do what I do. And when you can do that, life just becomes, in business especially, just becomes so rewarding. So luck is a mirage. Real success is built on action. There's a story about the Irish potato famine and the resilience of the Irish immigrants. Many see Ireland's tragic potato famine in 1845 to 1852 as a sheer story of bad luck. But the Irish who survived and thrived weren't just lucky. They took action. You see, over 1 million Irish immigrants came to America and other countries, not waiting, that is, for luck to see them saved, but to actually chart a path to save themselves. They built new lives through grit, hard work, and a strategy, not by hoping for a lucky break, but making a lucky break. So the lesson here in Luck is a Mirage, Real Success is Built on Action is this. Luck may deal cards. You might be dealt some terrible cards just by sheer luck. But action and determination is how you can play the hand you're dealt and actually make it a winning hand. Number 2, wishing on a 4-leaf clover won't replace a solid plan. Michael Collins and the Irish War of Independence is a great story. Ireland didn't gain independence from Britain by sheer luck, but Michael Collins led a strategic, calculated, and guerrilla warfare campaign. His intelligence, network planning, and persistence, not superstition, won Ireland's victory. So the lesson here is success comes from having a plan and executing it relentlessly, not hoping for fortune or favor. The Irish story and its independence is the American story. You got to put this in context that, Great Britain and England, these was the world's largest armies and the greatest wealth at the time. How does a bunch of farmers and a bunch of, plowshares from America or Ireland be able to fight off the British and maintain its independence? It's only by not wishing upon a star, not wishing on a 4-leaf clover, but having leaders that develop plans and learning how, okay, here's how we can fight and win. We don't have the biggest army. We don't have the biggest wealth. We don't have the greatest resources, but we have our sense of wanting freedom. And that's, to me, that's what encapsulates business. That story right there, that you might not be the most resourced, the most financed business in your industry. You might not have the greatest tools. You might not have the greatest pedigree. Whatever it is, there's so many disadvantages you can have in business. But if you can lean in on what this right here, this is what I got. This is what I'm good at. It might only be 1 or 2 things out of a whole litany of things that you could have. And you might be right beside another business that's got a whole inventory. But maybe what they don't have is your passion, your persistence, and your willingness to go to the mat, to win the deal, to win the contract, to get the business, to do what it takes to grow your business. I'm telling you, a plan that is backed up with passion and persistence, the fat cats cannot. That's why I love local businesses. That's why anytime I can, I'm going to a locally owned restaurant. I'm not going to a chain. I'm not going to a franchise. I'm going to somewhere, a mom and pop. And if I am in a franchise, because I've got several business owners that are franchise owners, I want to make sure those people are local, that they've got stake in the thing. Why? Because they're part of the community. Their kids, their family, they go to church, they go to school, they're a part of our community. But there's just this top-down model that the people that make the decisions, the people that are actually benefiting from that business, are somewhere in some ivory tower, somewhere away from my community. I'm not judging, not passing anything. God love them, God bless them for having a duplicatable system and business that they can scale like that. But my heart is with that local business owner. My heart is with that mom and pop shop on Main Street, not the Walmart over off of the bypass. And that's just, and I think so many other people are like that as well, because I like knowing that my dollar is going right back into helping someone in the local community. And the other thing is that person that runs that local mom and pop shop, that local plumber, that local electrician, that local service provider, they got skin in the game. They're not hiding behind this major brand. They're not hiding behind this major logo that this really is not about the people. It's about this thing out there. It's about them. When you do business with them, their reputation is on the line. So the other thing, as a consumer, you always get better service, a better product, a better everything by dealing with someone local, because there's nowhere to hide. And their family lives in the same community your family does. And so I'm telling you, don't wish upon a star. Don't wish on a 4-leaf clover, but have a solid plan and get your name out there, you small mom and pop business owner, you person that is just launching your business. Put your name, your face with that business. Get out in the community. Network with small business organizations. Let them know this is what I'm about. Yeah, big box over here does the same thing, but we do it just as affordable, but better. And here's my name. Here's my cell phone. Can you call the CEO of big box company? No, you cannot. You'll win every time by being persistent, passionate, and having a plan like that. It's strategic, and it's just the best thing you can do as a small business owner. Number 3, fortune favors the brave or the prepared. You've heard the story of the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad by the Irish laborers. Many Irish immigrants worked dangerous jobs, especially in the U.S., laying down the Transcontinental Railroad. They weren't just lucky to get work. They took risks, seized opportunities, and built something great throughout their relentless efforts. Taking bold, calculated risk and preparing for opportunities is the real secret to success. So fortune favors the brave, those who are not waiting on something to happen, those who are waiting to actually go out and disrupt, to interrupt, to get in front of people, to break a pattern, to be pattern breakers, to be, thought breakers. Everybody thinks of it this way, but you're getting up and you're interrupting that whole train of thought simply because you're bold enough to say, hey, there's a better way and I can do it. Fortune favors folks who are brave enough to put themselves out there, get ridiculed, get made fun of, get whatever. But it's not about, getting the attaboys and getting, winning a popularity contest. It's about putting your value out there and being willing enough to get your nose bent up a little bit, be willing to be criticized a little bit, be willing to be made fun of even, to be willing to take on all of this negative pushback so that you can figure out, right here's my path. This right here is where I can go and I can win. Fortune favors the brave, those who are willing to get out. Number 4, the true magic is in consistency, not some leprechaun at the end of a rainbow. Guinness Brewery is a great story of over 250 years of success. Guinness is about as old as the United States. Arthur Guinness, matter of fact, it's older. Arthur Guinness didn't rely on luck when he signed a 9,000-year lease for his Dublin brewery in 1759. He had a vision, persistence, and a belief in his product. The brand success wasn't overnight. It was built over generations through consistent quality and strategic marketing. Wealth and success come from long-term persistence, not quick bursts of fortune. I can tell you right now, TW3 in its short-lived time since 2008 has had ups, it's had downs, it's had different economies, it's had, different economic shifts for everything from the Great Recession of 07-08 when we were born to the healthcare thing that happened with ACA, Obamacare, to which all of that was during that same time period of the housing crisis, and then ACA, and so economic turmoil and all of that. And then you go into having some great years of starting out in 2016 going up to 2020, and then we're having COVID, and it's sort of softening the economy, and now the economy the last 5 years sort of up, down, sluggish, up, down, up, down. What saved us, though, is persistency, consistency, getting out there, being willing to redefine yourself, being willing to back up and say, oh, we need to do it this way now. We need to change this. We need to change our offerings. It's not because at the end of the day, we're in business for a why, not a what. What we do can change tomorrow, but why we do it is because I truly believe business owners are the backbone of our economy, of our culture, of our society, and going to be the frontiermen of our future. And because of that, my why is to serve them. And my why is to tell them you're worth more. Wherever you're at in your business right now, whether you're starting or you're just starting to scale or you're trying to support, wherever you're at, whether you start, scale, or support, your business and you are worth more. Okay, and that comes from a Judeo-Christian ethos that we are made by, from, and for the purposes of greatness. Greatness is breathed on the inside of every one of us, and the way we manifest that greatness is through the products, goods, and services that we offer as entrepreneurs and small business owners. And we provide that value throughout our entire economy, through our entire society, through our communities, and everything else. And so to the extent that I can help support a small business person in allowing them to bring their value to market in whatever way, that's what we're going to offer. It might look like a WordPress website one day, and it might look like some sort of AI generated thing the next day. It really doesn't matter what we're doing. It's why we're doing it. And why we're doing it is because without small business people that are willing to take a risk, that are willing to say, hey, I'm willing to put my fortunes, my family, and my future on the line because I have a dream that I believe in. Without folks like that, then we're no different than any other country, any other society, any other culture out there. We just go clock in physically, mentally check out, and then complain about what we get. I like to be around people that says, I'm not looking, I'm not going after this skill set, this degree, so I can find a job. I'm going after this skill set, this degree, this education, so I can create jobs. Job creators is what we need. We need more of those folks in this society. We need more and more of those people. We need more and more of that mindset. And TW3 is here as a partner for anybody that shares that ethos, that wants to take what it is they do, make it bigger, make it better, make it more profitable, so that they can have more employees, that have better paying jobs, infuse their culture, their society, their community with their values. That's why we're here. When you have a why, and you're consistent because of that why, your true magic is consistency. It's not just, whatever at the end of the rainbow. Number 5, don't chase rainbows, but create your goal. The Celtic Tiger in Ireland's economic boom. In the late 20th century, Ireland transformed from one of Europe's poorest nations to a thriving economy. It wasn't luck. It was investment in technology, education, and strategic business policies that brought the boom. So instead of chasing after, lucky breaks and things like that, Ireland built a system and habits that created sustainable success. So those are the 5 major ideas I have on this St. Patrick's Day today for you as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as people that are thinking about starting that side hustle, as people that already have that full-time, brick and mortar business or whatever business you're in. You know this as well as I do. Nothing I've said is news to you, but it's here to just encourage you that you are, as I like to say, doing God's work. When you're out there providing value, providing products, providing services for business, for your local community, and providing a business that other people can work. Let's face it, not everybody's meant to be a business owner, and that's fine. There's no judgment on that. There's no whatever. But for you guys that are and are willing to take the risk, God love you, and we're going to do everything we can to help you. And so to the extent that I can encourage you, luck is not a mirage. Don't sit back. If you're ever thinking about getting in this game, don't think it's just about luck. Because here's the thing. If it's about luck, then you've already got an excuse to quit, to sulk, and to get out. Because here's the dirty little secret. Everyone has bad luck. Everyone. No one is just lucky all the time. You were born on the wrong side of the tracks. You were born the wrong whatever. You were born with this. Everybody has something. Everybody has some. If you were born into a wealthy family, if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, if you were born never to want, if you were born with the greatest education, if you were born with the greatest resources, if you were born set up to start and take over mom and daddy's business, then you've never known what it's like to suffer. And my friend, you have some terrible luck on your hand, because at some point you're going to be tested and you're going to be tried. If you've never been tested, if everything's always been handed to you, if everything has always come easy to you, man, life's going to be hard. Because at some point we all have to be tested on what we're made of. And so to that person, that's what I'm saying. Everybody has got some cross that they're going to have to bear. No one gets out of this. So for you business owners out there, thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for providing jobs. Thank you for providing services to your community. And just remember, luck is a mirage. Wishing on a 4-leaf clover won't replace a solid plan. Fortune favors the brave. The true magic is in consistency, not finding a leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. And don't, whatever you do, don't chase gold. Don't chase rainbows. Chase a plan that's proven and be persistent with it. If you do that with your passion and your purpose infused in all that you do, you're going to find your fortunes. Till next time, talk to you later.
This story comes from chapter 9 entitled Sometimes People Get Stuck.
Sometimes in life, people get stuck at times, caught up in situations they can't quite see their way out of it. I remember one day after school when I walked into such a moment myself. As I stepped off the school bus, I heard this loud banging noise as soon as I walked through the front door of the house. And it was coming from a room somewhere just beyond the kitchen. Curious, I made my way toward the sound. When I got to the kitchen, I found my mom and grandfather standing there, shaking their heads in frustration. My grandfather was sipping on his coffee, and neither one of them looked too thrilled with whatever was happening in the other room. So naturally, I asked him, "What's all that noise?" Without even looking up, my grandfather just pointed toward the restroom off the kitchen and said, "You'll have to go see for yourself." So I walked over to the restroom, opened the door, and there it was. Inside was this gentleman my mom had hired to move our old metal bathtub. But here's the thing. He was standing inside the tub while trying to lift it out. And his wife, bless her heart, was there too, standing on the side, cheering him on. "You almost got it," she kept yelling. I could barely keep from laughing. I quickly stepped back and shut the door before they could see me. I went right back to my grandfather, still shaking in my head in disbelief. "Why don't you tell him that won't work?" I asked. "He's literally standing in the bathtub while trying to lift it." And my grandfather, without even looking up from his coffee, just grinned a little and said, "Oh boy, we've been trying to tell him, but he won't listen." I couldn't believe it. Then why is he still trying? So I asked. My grandfather took a slow sip of his coffee, looked up at me with that familiar half smile and said, "Because, son, he's stuck on stupid.
Hey, we all can get stuck sometimes and do things that later we feel stupid about. This story comes from chapter 9 entitled Sometimes People Get Stuck. Get unstuck today. Go to yourworthmorebook.com and get a free sample copy of You Are Worth More.
Running a business is tough, your to-do list never ends, and the phone keeps ringing. What if you could focus on your daily operations without worrying about missed calls? At TW3, we've got you covered with our 24/7 call answering service, starting at just $25 per month. Here's how it works. When your phone rings, our team answers every call, takes the caller's name, number, email, and reason for calling. We can even handle basic customer support, answering frequently asked questions about your business, or book appointments for you right on the spot. But it doesn't stop there. We'll immediately send you a text or email with all the details so you can follow up at your convenience if needed. Our service also filters out spam calls, giving you more time to focus on what really matters, growing your business. And here's the best part. With 24/7 availability, your customers get the help they need anytime, day or night, leaving a lasting impression of professionalism and care. Don't let missed calls slow you down. Call us at 864-507-9696 to schedule a quick demo and see how our award-winning service can work for you. Your time is valuable. Let us help you protect it.